Welcome everybody. It's 9 o'clock according to my clock. So put yourself on mute so that you can make as much noise as you want as we get into our practice. So just want to let you know, as always with the classes that I teach, even in the studio, you're welcome to do your thing. If what I'm teaching at the moment really doesn't, you're not feeling it, you're welcome to do something else. You're welcome to play other music, but if you want to follow along with the playlist I made for today, navigate over to Spotify, find me, EDYM428, and tee up Virtual Yoga 5/28, and I'll tell you when to press play on that. And now that that's all ready, find a good seat so that you can settle in. I'm going to tell you a little story. It has something to do with karma that I talked about on Tuesday, where you create one action and you can't really predict what's going to happen from that action. So once upon a time, Hanuman was a little baby, and he looked up into the sky and he saw the sun up there. And to Hanuman as a baby, the sun looked like a giant, ripe, delicious mango. So he decided he was going to jump up into the sky and grab that mango and eat it. So he runs and he jumps, he's leaping through the sky, and Indra, the god of the heavens, sees what's happening, and he thinks, oh, there's no way. I mean, we got to have the sun, so we cannot have Hanuman taking the sun. So he throws one of his thunderbolts at Hanuman. It strikes him in the jaw. Hanuman falls to the earth. And then Vayu, Hanuman's father, goes and grabs him and cradles him. And Vayu is so angry at what has happened to Hanuman that Vayu sucks all of the wind, all of the air out of the universe. So then all the gods get together and they say, well, we gotta have the sun, but we also have to have air in the universe. So all the gods get together, they go to Indra and Hanuman, and they heal Hanuman. They heal his jaw, they make him whole, and they say to Indra, we'll give your son special powers if you will release the air back into the universe. So Vayu does release the air into the universe. And then the gods give Hanuman powers like shape-shifting. He can make himself really big, really small. They give him the power, he's indestructible in battle. They give him the power to be able to leap really long distances. They give him the power to be incredibly flexible. And so like Hanuman, we all make mistakes. Maybe we don't mistake the sun for a mango, but we all make mistakes. And it's from our mistakes that we really learn, that we gain power, that we gain wisdom. So what I want to invite you to do in your practice today is to let go of perfection and embrace any mistakes that happen. If your leg's not straight in a pose where you think it should be straight, embrace that. That is a tool for you to learn. And maybe because your leg isn't straight, you still have power in that leg. Maybe if you straightened the leg all the way out, you would lose the power in that leg, the muscle energy in that leg that you might need. So today we're letting go of imperfection. We are embracing our mistakes as we go along on our mats today. Sit with your body parts that touch the earth really grounding. Close your eyes and then take an inhale that lifts your heart up into the sky. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and make your commitment to embrace wholeness in your practice. And embracing wholeness means embracing the parts that maybe we're not so excited about, mistakes for one. Maybe the parts of our bodies that don't operate the way that we think they should or the way they used to. And in embracing wholeness, we really can come into a place of deeper power, a place of deeper knowing. If everything was always perfect for us, we really wouldn't be able to appreciate that perfection. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then slowly let that breath seep out through your mouth. Release your hands down to your legs. And as you inhale, sit a little taller, roll your shoulders back, let your heart be open, and then gently blink your eyes open. All right, friends, we're gonna get to all fours on our mats, hands and knees. If you are following along with the playlist or playing your own music, now's the time to press play on that. And as you find knees and hands on the mat, settle in and start to find a rhythm to your breath. Drawing air in and then letting the air release back out. Inhales and exhales about the same length, but make the breath intentional so it's a little longer than your natural breath. On your next exhale, move into cat pose, lifting your belly up and lifting your back up towards the sky. Inhale, cow pose, front of the body towards the earth, look forward, belly stays slightly toned even in cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. One more round here, just getting accustomed to moving with your breath. After your next cow pose, come into a neutral spine, tone belly, neck and head are in neutral. Inhale, take your left leg back behind you. And then as you exhale, swing that leg out to the left and then lower your foot all the way down onto the floor. Left toes pointing straight ahead. As you inhale, take your right arm out to the right and up, reach up in an open twist. Look up past your hand, maybe see the sun up there, and then exhale, bring your hand down and twist over, taking your right hand to the left, lowering your right shoulder and right side of the head to the floor. Maybe walk your left arm more towards the front of your mat, and then pull the left shoulder back. Keep that rhythmic breath here, even though the pose is stationary. Plant your left hand back down, about underneath your shoulder. And then as you inhale, lift back up and plant your right hand under the shoulder. Next inhale, lift your left leg straight up. And then exhale, swing it back behind you. And then lower your left knee to the mat. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. And then from neutral with a toned belly, inhale, right leg back behind you. Exhale, take it straight out to the side, and then lower your foot down to the mat. Right toes pointing straight ahead. On an inhale, take your left arm out to the left and up, twisting to the open side. Take your gaze up past your hand. Exhale, bring your hand down, reach it across, reaching your hand over towards your right foot. Once you've settled into your twist, walk your right hand towards the front of your mat, and then pull the right shoulder back, twisting open. A couple of breaths right here. Draw your right hand back about underneath the shoulder, and then use an inhale to release the twist. Plant the left hand down. Lift the right leg straight up and then swing it straight back behind you, and then lower your right knee down to the mat. Exhale, cat pose, just one round here. Inhale, cow pose. And then back to neutral. Put the tops of your feet on the floor, and then shift your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your arms out in front. So this is child's pose without wide knees. We'll take a little vinyasa here. Inhale, come forward into plank from your knees, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga from your knees. Inhale, little cobra, lift up, and then lower back down to your mat. Take your hands wider than your mat is. Come on to fingertips so the palms are off the floor. Lift your elbows to point up towards the sky. Inhale, lift into a little cobra, and then roll one shoulder and then the other, circling around, opening the upper back and across the deltoids, the muscles that wrap across the shoulders. One more rotation through the right shoulder and one more through the left, and then bring your hands back in. Lift up to all fours again. And then from here, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Hips stretch up and heels stretch down. And then just shift your weight of your hips side to side, helping sink the heels a little bit more as you shift your weight to one side and then to the other. Come into the middle. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Knees off the mat now. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Maybe upward dog if you're already feeling that. And then exhale, lower back down to your mat. Bend your right knee, reach back with your hand or strap. Grab the right foot, hug your heel in. Keep that right heel where it is. Walk your left hand a little bit farther forward. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, push that left hand down into the ground, lifting into a back bend. Try to keep that right heel close to your hip. And then exhale, lower back down, straighten the right leg out. Second side, bend the left knee, reach back with your left hand. Grab on, take a couple of breaths here, just to let the quadriceps muscles open. And then slide that right hand a little bit farther forward. One breath in here, and then exhale, back bend with the quad stretch. And then exhale, release, let it go. Stretch your leg back, downward facing dog. Look at the front of your mat and step your feet all the way up to the top. Fold over your legs. Let your head dangle. Hold on to your elbows with your palms. And just fold over. Getting some of that Hanuman flexibility in the back of the body. Bring your hands to your hips, and then as you inhale, rise up to stand, and then bring your hands to your heart. We're going to move with breath here, so make an effort to let the breath guide you from pose to pose, maybe even tone in the breath, creating that pranayama or breath work called Ujjayi, so that you hear the song of your breath. On an inhale, take your arms up to the sky, look up, stand tall and strong here. Exhale, forward bend, sweep the arms out and down, fold over the legs again. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Glide forward on your inhale to plank. Glide down to chaturanga on your exhale. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And then downward facing dog. Look up at the front of your mat and, oh, let's do this. Inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Lift the leg high. And then exhale, look at the front of your mat. Lunge your foot to the front. High crescent pose. Back heel is lifted. Take your arms forward and up. Stay charged in that back leg. Turn the palms to face forward. So in a moment on an exhale, you're going to sweep the arms forward and down by your sides. At the same time, you're going to stand in balance on your right leg as you bring your left knee up to hip height. So here we go. Let's do that. Take a breath in. Exhale. Sweep the arms forward. Bring the left knee up to hip height. Good. Step back to high crescent pose. 2 more times. Exhale. Lift up. This time, imagine you have a coffee cup balanced right on top of that left thigh. You're going to lift the left thigh up just a little bit and a little bit more, and then the highest, and then back to high crescent pose. One more time, inhale, lift up, knee up to hip height. This time, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. 1 breath in, and then exhale, warrior 3. Stretch the left leg back as you lean out in front. Try to keep the chest open here. Keep a lot of energy into your left leg. Embrace any mistakes that happen here. There was one. Embrace any mistakes that happen here. And then from warrior 3, try to lift your hands away from your back, reaching the knuckles up towards the sky. 1 more breath in here. Exhale, step back into lunge. So left foot at the back of the mat. Unlace the fingers, sweep the arms out to the sides. Lift them high up overhead. Take a nice back bend right here, opening the front of that left hip. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Bring your left arm across. We'll take a couple of breaths in the twist. Keep that back leg nice and steady and strong. Inhale, both arms back up overhead. Roll your back heel down to the mat and then circle your arms out to the sides, interlace behind your back again. Humble warrior. Use an exhale to descend, crown of the head to the floor on the inside of the right leg. And then bring your hands away from your back, opening into your shoulders. Release your hands down to the mat. Lift your back heel up. So we're going to take one leg downward dog and do something a little different here. So inhale, right leg back and up behind you. As you exhale, right knee in towards your nose, so you come into plank here, and then shoot that right foot to the left. Spin the left heel down. Reach out with the right hand and see if you can, left hand, and see if you can touch your right foot. Back to one leg dog. 4 more of those. Knee into nose. Shoot the right foot to the left. Left hand grabs the foot. Back to one leg dog. Exhale, pull in. Shoot over, maybe grab or touch. Back to one leg dog. 2 more, pull in, stretch across. One leg dog. 1 more, pull it in, flip over. Back to one leg dog. This time, 1 leg vinyasa or 2 leg, you decide. For downward dog, look at the front of your mat and walk or step or hop your feet to the front. Fold over those legs. Inhale, lift up. Stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Whatever happened there in that flow, embrace all of it. It's how we learn. Second side, inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen forward. Go through your vinyasa, or step back to downward dog and hold downward dog. Your choice here for how you flow. And now we're ready. Inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Stretch it up. Exhale, lunge it to the front of your mat. High crescent pose. Rise up. Palms face forward here. Charge up that back leg. Charge up the core. Take a breath in as you exhale. Sweep the arms forward. Come balance on the left leg. Lift the right knee up to hip height. Step back into high crescent. 2 more. Exhale, lift up. This time, use your core to try to lift that right knee up just maybe half an inch more, a full inch more, and then back to high crescent pose. Last time, exhale, lift up here. Take your hands around behind your back, interlace with the other thumb on top that you didn't have on top on the last side. 1 breath in, and then as you exhale, warrior 3 variation. If you bobble, if you put your foot down, embrace that. Find your warrior 3, draw the shoulders back, and then lift the hands up towards the sky. Straight arms, still fingers interlaced, reaching those knuckles up to the sky. Take a breath in here, exhale, step back into a lunge. Right foot at the back of the mat. Release the fingers, inhale, take your arms up overhead, find a back bend here, open the front of that right hip. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the left, bring the right arm across. We'll take a couple of breaths here to let those muscles open across your back. And then inhale, rise back up, high crescent pose. Spin your back heel down to the floor, sweep your arms out wide in a big circle, interlace behind again. Humble warrior, ride the exhale down to fold inside the left leg. Bring the hands away from the back. And now unlace the hands, release the hands down either side of the left foot. Lift the right heel off the mat. 1 leg downward dog, left leg reaches back into the sky behind you. On your exhale, knee to nose. Spin your back heel down, shoot your left foot over to the right. Right hand grabs or touches the foot. Back to 1 leg dog, 4 more. Exhale, 1 leg plank, shoot your left foot over to the right, back to 1 leg dog. Exhale, pull in, shoot across, 1 leg dog. 2 more, pull it in, reach it over, back to 1 leg dog. Last one, pull in, reach over, grab your foot, back to 1 leg dog. 1 leg vinyasa, if you have the energy for that, or put both feet on the ground. Hold downward dog or flow with both feet down. You got it. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs. Inhale. Rise up to stand, touch your palms overhead, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Embracing wholeness in our practice today, no matter how our bodies are working, how our minds are connecting to our bodies, we're accepting all of it. Chair pose, hips go low, arms go high, turn your palms to face forward. Stay in the chair, but lift your heels off the mat. Drinking bird 3 times, exhale, bow forward, press your palms back and up behind you. Inhale, Lift the arms back up overhead, lift the heart up. Exhale, bow forward, sweeping the arms forward and then up to the sky behind you. Inhale, lift back up. One more time, bow. Press the palms, try to keep the heels lifted. Inhale, lift back up, lower the heels to the mat. Exhale, forward bend, straighten the legs, hands on the floor. Inhale, lengthen out. It's vinyasa time. Take it as your breath dictates. From downward dog, inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, and then plant that right foot between your hands. Warrior two, root your back foot into the ground and lift up into warrior two. Flip the front palm up, reverse warrior. Inhale, lift back up, straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Reach forward and then bring the right fingers down onto something, left fingers up into the sky. Maybe if that right leg isn't as straight as you want it to be, just embrace where you are, knowing that you're gaining power here. You're learning. One day, the leg might get straighter. Keep your triangle pose. Bring your left bicep near your ear, left palm pointing down towards the ground. If you can, lift your right hand off the ground so the right bicep is by the ear. Inhale, lift yourself up. Keep the biceps near the ears, reverse warrior. Inhale, lift back up. Turn to face the long side of your mat, square your feet up, bring your hands behind your back. Exhale, forward bend, wide leg, standing forward bend, fold over. Bring your hands away from your back, lengthening the back of your body. Tapping into Hanuman flexibility. Release your hands down to the floor. We're going to take a side bend, just one, into the right knee. So bend that right knee. I like to put my right arm against the right leg so I can help open up my inner thigh and my outer hip a little bit. If you get low enough, you might turn your left toes to point up towards the ceiling. Working on outer hip and inner thigh opening here. Just holding this pose for a couple more breaths. And then walk your hands around to the front of your mat. So we're in lunge here, but let's shorten it up. Bring the back foot in about 2 inches. Lower your heel down to the mat. So keep that right knee bent for now and try to connect your right ribs to the top of the right thigh. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to work that right leg straighter, keeping the ribs connected as long as you can as you straighten the leg out. And then inhale, bend back into the right knee. Let's do that again. Right ribs connect to the right thigh. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start working the right leg a little straighter, trying to keep the ribs connected. If your ribs are connected the whole time, just fold into the leg a little bit more. And now that the leg is straight, or straight-ish, we'll take a couple of breaths right here. All right, bend back into your right knee. Walk that left foot back those couple of inches. One leg dog, right leg lifts back and up. And one leg vinyasa, if that's what you like here. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat. And chair pose. Sit back through your hips, lift up through your heart and your hands, and then straighten the legs, stand up tall. Take a standing back bend here. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Second side starts with chair, lower down, and lift the arms up. Turn the palms to face forward. Lift the heels off the mat 3 times, drinking bird. Exhale, bow forward, finding your balance, pressing the palms up high. Inhale, lift back up, heels stay lifted. Exhale, bow forward, sweeping the arms forward and down and then back behind you. One more time, lift to the sky. Exhale, bow forward, press the palms up. This time, when you lift up to the sky, lower your heels to the mat. Exhale, forward bend, hands down, straight legs, fold over them. Connect your ribs to your thighs if you can. Inhale, lengthen out halfway. Meet me in downward dog. Ride the breath to take you through your postures of vinyasa. There we go. From downward dog, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, lunge it to the front of your mat. Come up to warrior 2. Back heel roots into the floor and find your warrior 2. Turn the front palm up, reverse warrior. Stretch back as the front knee reaches forward. Inhale, back up to warrior 2, triangle pose. Straighten your front leg. You don't want to let your knee drop back. Just keep that little bend. That's going to help you keep power in the leg. Lean forward and then left fingers to the ground, right fingers to the sky. Maybe gaze up past your top hand. Bring your right bicep near your ear, right palm facing down towards the ground. Tone into your core, get strong into your legs. Maybe lift that left hand off the ground so the left bicep is near your ear. Inhale, lift your torso upright. Keep the arms on either side of the head. Reverse triangle pose, leaning back. Inhale, lift back up. Turn your toes to face the long right side of your mat. Take your hands behind your back again. Interlace your fingers and then fold over. Eventually bringing your hands away from your back. Think about where those legs are. If they're not straight, this is just where you learn what your range of motion is today. If they are straight, do you still have power in those legs? All right, release your hands down to the floor. And then we'll take one side lunge here into the left knee. So bend that left knee, maybe the left arm inside the left leg, points that knee out a little bit, helps you open your inner thigh. If your hips get low enough, you might be able to come on to the back of the heel on the back foot, pointing your toes up at the ceiling, opening inner thighs and outer hips. And then release. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat, coming into lunge, and shorten up the lunge. Bring the back foot in a couple of inches. For now, keep the left knee bent as you connect the left ribs to the top of the left thigh. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, work that left leg straighter, trying to keep the ribs on the thigh or close to the thigh. And then let's release. Bend that knee. Reconnect the ribs, and then exhale, straighten the legs. This time we'll hold it a little longer. If your ribs have been touching your thigh the whole time, see if you can lengthen through the spine a little bit more and fold into your leg a little bit more. All right, that's good there. Bend back into your knee, scoot that back foot back, those 2 inches that you shortened the stance. And now one leg dog, left leg lifts up for a one leg vinyasa. Everybody I can see is looking great. I see you moving with your breath, it's beautiful. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Last chair pose of the practice, lower the hips down, lift up through your heart. Accept where you are here, embrace wholeness in your practice, and then push into your feet, stand up tall. We'll take a standing back bend here. Strong core enables you to have that back bend safely. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more flow here on each side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen out. Get yourself to downward facing dog. Use that inhale to float the right leg up into the sky again. Exhale, lunge your foot to the front of your mat. We're coming back to high crescent pose. Palms facing forward again. Charge up into the legs. On an exhale, sweep the hands forward and down. Balance on the right leg. Bring the left knee up to hip height. Bring your hands to your heart. Come into standing pigeon pose. So bend that right knee, cross the left ankle over, and lower your hips back and down. Maybe draw your shoulders back a little bit here, strengthening the back as you work on balance and outer left hip opening. On your inhale, lift back up, arms up overhead, left knee to hip height, this time standing splits. Take your hands down to the ground or your props. Take your left leg straight up into the air. And then on an exhale, we're going to come to a seat. So you're going to sweep that left leg down and stretch it all the way out in front of you, right kneecap pointing up at the ceiling. We embrace whatever happened there, embrace wholeness in the practice, letting go of perfection. Take your right arm up, and as you exhale, bow forward, Marichi Asana 1. So use that right hand to grab onto some part of your left leg, maybe your left foot. Bring the left hand around, fold forward. If your hands are easily reaching your foot, maybe you reach your hands beyond your foot, and right hand grabs left wrist around the sole of the foot. And then inhale, lift back up. So we're going to keep this right knee pointing up a little bit longer. Bend your left knee so that the left knee points out to the side. We're getting set up for Ashtavakrasana. 8-limbed crooked pose and arm balance. Grab onto, with your right hand, grab onto the outer edge of your right foot and lift the foot up. So your shin's about parallel to the ground here. And then pull the foot back, trying to get the foot closer to your right ear. I'm certainly embracing imperfection where that comes in. Left palm grabs the sole of the right foot. With that right arm on the inside of the right leg, grab behind the shin and push the shin up into the air and then pull it back, trying to work your leg high on your arm or your shoulder. And then lower your hands down to the floor in front of your hips, not right beside them, because you want to lean forward here. So I've got my right glute off the ground, and I'm going to lift that left foot up and hook it over the top of the right foot and seal those feet together. Take a breath in, squeeze the elbows in, and as you exhale, lean forward more and push your feet out to the right. Look forward a little bit, and then lower back down. And we say, hello, imperfection. Hello, wholeness. That's what we're going for in our practice today. Downward facing dog. However you get there, step on back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg, back and up behind you. Exhale, bring your left knee into your nose. I think I forgot that on the last flow. And then press your left foot down, coming into lunge. High mountain pose. Inhale, lift up, palms face forward. On your exhale, stand in balance on the left foot. Sweep the arms forward and down to the floor as you lift your right knee up to hip height. Standing pigeon pose, hands to your heart, bend the left knee, cross the right ankle over, and sit down into your posture. Once you're there and you feel steady in your balance, draw your shoulders back a little bit more. Couple of breaths right here. We're gaining power doing this. Core power, leg power. On an inhale, lift up, arms up overhead, right knee to hip height. Exhale takes you to standing splits. Hands down to the ground or props that lift the ground up for you. Right foot up into the air. And we'll go right from the standing splits to that Marichyasana prep pose. So you'll bring your foot down and then reach it all the way out in front of you. Right leg in front, left knee. Whoa, some of you do that without hands. That's incredible. All right, left arm up. As you exhale, bow forward inside that left knee. Reach out and grab whatever part of your leg or foot you can. Fold in. And then bring the right hand around and grab onto. Again, if you're easily reaching your foot, you might reach that left hand around the sole of your foot to grab your right wrist and fold in. Inhale, release, lift up, and we will get ready for Ashtavakrasana on the second side. So this right knee will stay where it is. This is your left knee. It's going to stay where it is for now. Bend your right knee so that the kneecap points out to the side. And this right leg is just ready when we are ready for it. With your left hand, grab the outer edge of your left foot. Lift the foot up. Shin about parallel to the ground, and then take the knee back under your armpit so you're pulling your foot near your ear. Right palm holds the sole of the left foot. Left arm comes on the inside of the left leg, grabs behind the shin, and then work that arm high on your, or work that leg high on your arm or your shin. Once you've got the leg where you want it, lean forward, place your hands down, about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider apart, and lean forward. So that left glute is off the mat, you're just on the right glute. See if you can pick up that right foot and hook it over the left. So if you really flex at the ankles, the feet will stay stuck together here. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, bend the elbows, lean forward, push your feet out to the side, straightening the legs as you go, maybe looking forward a little bit. That's it, and then let that one go. Dissolve that pose, wide leg stance, seat. So we're going to keep the seat here, take the legs wide, bring your hands in front, lift the front of the body up long, and then as you exhale, bow forward. And while we are pushing our edge here, our edge of mobility, we are still learning. So if you want to have your chest on the ground, but you're not there today, you are learning where the edge of your mobility is and respecting that. That's coming into wholeness in your practice. All right, inhale, walk yourself back up. And I think you knew it was coming. It's time for Hanuman's pose. So bring the legs in. We're going to come to all fours on the mat. If you want to put something under your knees, now would be a good time because one of the knees is going to be on the ground for a while. From all fours, bring your right foot forward between your hands. And now we're going to work that right leg straight. So press your heel forward. So you're on the back of the heel. You're pressing the ball of the foot forward. The toes are pointing up at the sky. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, if you have the room for it, bend the elbows and fold over your leg, trying to press the right ribs into the right thigh. Keep a steady pressure on the back of the leg by pushing the right heel into the floor. That keeps those back of the right leg muscles active. And then inhale, lift up. Let's change sides. Take the right leg back, land onto the right knee, and then bring the left foot forward. Left leg straight out in front of you. Maybe a tiny bend into that knee. Inhale, stretch the heart forward, and then if you have the room for it, bend the elbows and bow over your leg. So this pose that we're in now is called half pose of Hanuman. Working the left wrist towards the left thigh while pressing the left heel down, keeping muscle energy in the back of the left leg. All right, inhale, lift up. Let's go back to all fours again. And we'll take this pose one more time on each side. So right leg back out in front. So if doing this pose the last time, you learned that you have a little bit more mobility. Let's try to reach out for the pose of Hanuman, not the half pose of Hanuman. Really listening and learning as we go instead of forcing ourselves into what we think the perfect pose is here. So from the half pose, You start to reach your right heel forward, keeping that pressure on the back of the heel. And then lift up the back knee, walk it back a little bit. And you keep doing that, forward and back, forward and back. If you get to a place where you feel stuck, it's helpful for me to shift my hips side to side. Sometimes my inner thighs or that inner hamstring on the front leg is the limiting factor for me. And then you just get to where you get in this pose, half, full, somewhere in between, embracing all of it, keeping your power in your legs so you're not melting down into a puddle in the legs, but you're keeping a lot of pulling in energy in those legs. All right, let's let this one go by inhaling and lifting up back to all fours. And now the left leg comes out in front. Left leg is straight. We start out in the half pose. And then only if you've learned that you have some room for it, you reach that left heel a little bit forward, keeping pressure on the back of the heel and a little bend into the left knee, picking up the right knee, walking the right leg back, forward, back, forward, back. Maybe you get to the place where you feel, this is it. I've learned that this is where I am in this pose today. Maybe you shift the hips side to side, get those inner thighs to open up a little bit. Wherever you are, in half, full, or somewhere in between, you are pulling the legs in towards one another, keeping your energy, keeping your power. And then on an inhale, we lift back up. Back to hands and knees. Right here, exhale, cat pose. And inhale, cow pose. And then come into neutral and make your way around onto your back. So we're getting really close to Shavasana. Not quite there yet. So if you want to put on your shirt or if you're adding layers, now would be a good time to do that. We're going to do a few finishing poses here from our backs. First finishing pose is a bridge pose. So knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Hug your shoulder blades underneath you. Push into the feet, lift your hips up. Just open up the front of the body. And then exhale, lower back down. Next finishing pose is a shoulder stand. So if shoulder stand works for you, you're going to come into that shoulder stand. If shoulder stand does not work for you, especially for your neck, place a block or some prop that acts like a block underneath your hips, underneath your sacrum. So we want the legs to come up into the air. Once your legs are up, take them apart from one another like you're in that wide leg stance. Once the legs are apart, reach your right leg over your head and your left leg in the direction your elbows are pointing. Hanuman, upside down. Inhale, come back around to the wide leg stance, and then circle the legs in the other direction. Left leg over your face, right foot pointing back behind, upside down splits. Inhale, circle back out to the wide leg stance, and then bring your legs back together overhead. On an exhale, roll on down. As your hips hit the ground, hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side across your back. Stretch out into Shavasana. Stretch your legs out long. If you need some other finishing poses, please take those. But if you're ready, stretch on out. And if you're not quite there with the playlist, you might skip ahead to the last song. I think I talked too much at the beginning of practice for the playlist. So we'll follow or get to our relaxation song here, whatever playlist you are listening to. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Do 2 more of those cleansing breaths on your own, letting the exhale be a way of letting go of the need to be perfect, and letting the inhale be a way of embracing wholeness, even the imperfections in your practice. Let your natural breath take over. And let your body settle fully. Often, if we can soften across the face and the neck, the rest of the body will follow suit. So allow the eyes to close gently. Allow the forehead to soften. Let the muscles across your cheeks and around your jaw and your lips relax. Embrace a deeper level of heaviness in your head so that the muscles all around your neck can go. Scan the rest of your body for places of muscle holding. And if you find any of those, use your exhale to give those places permission to relax. And now just bask in the wholeness of your practice. Begin to deepen your breath. Bigger inhale, longer exhale. And then reawaken your body gently. Hands, feet, wrists, ankles. Stretch your arms above your head. One last full body stretch here. And then on an exhale, roll to your side. And then from your side, come up to a seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. I hope that as you go through your day, you're able to notice the power, the strength, the wisdom that you gain from mistakes or imperfections, and that you're able to fully embrace all of it coming into wholeness. We'll take just a couple of breaths, a couple of beats, a couple of moments to send our collective energy to the sick, to the healers, to the workers, all of those who are keeping things safe and chugging along for the rest of us. The wholeness in me bows to the wholeness in you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.